My name is Amit Surana, and what we'll cover today is some more operations on the functions. So, what kind of operations you can perform on the functions, and what you have to keep in mind when these operations are performed. So, that's what today's session is going to be. I hope you guys have had a great Sunday today. Hi, Rancho. Hello. Hello, Rathor. Hi, Vedant. Rohit, good evening. Thank you very much for asking. I'm doing great, buddy. Thank you so much. Hi, Anuj. I'm doing good, buddy. रोहित अलजेब्रा स्टार्ट किया है विद इनइक्वालिटी एंड लॉग से इजी है इसलिए हाँ हाँ नो इश्यूज नो इश्यूज we are done with logs we will our next concept would be inequalities तो functions खत्म हो गया तो उसके बाद सीधा inequalities ही है ना right hi Bhavya good evening hello so a quick introduction about myself my name is Amit Surana I am an aeronautical engineer from Chennai I have teaching experience of 6 years, and I've trained over different platforms, different arenas. I've helped over 2 lakh students, to help them train and get ready for their careers. So I've helped them set a future for themselves, or at least I've helped them find a good path. If you're planning on sharing this on any of your social media platforms, please don't forget to use hashtag #CatLifeDaily. And please don't forget to tag me in it as well. Yeah. So this is our agenda for today, algebraic operations. So we'll look at what kind of operations can be performed on function. We had already seen composition of functions. So this is only going to be a little more, a step back to that. But we'll look at a lot of examples. Okay, some examples are pretty good. So we will do that for today. And if you want updates on our classes, if you want the notes to be provided to you, and if you want any other notifications, and please add yourself to this Telegram community that we have. यहाँ पे सब information, every information about CAT would be provided. And yeah, this is for anyone who is, especially for people who are preparing to start now. If you think that now you have decided to take CAT, or now you have have had that idea of going and preparing for CAT, then for you guys because you are almost a couple of months late, for you need a lot of fast track courses that run back to back for longer period of time, as well as cover a lot of concept in the number of sessions. In that case, I would definitely suggest you to take up the plus subscription, especially if you're planning on doing it in the first week of July. That would be extremely essential for you. And the cost of this is very nominal. Yes, somewhere around 1,000 rupees a month, and you can actually get enough access to all the content on an academy, and you get to talk to a lot of educators, people who you have been looking up to. So if you think that I am a okay decent educator, then let me tell you I am on the 50th rank. Yes, I'm on the 50th rank. That basically means that there are 49 other educators that are better than me. So all of those and everyone else also is taking classes on Unacademy Plus on a regular basis, and now the pace has also doubled up. Yes, the number of courses, if you see now, has almost doubled up. The number of mock tests that are available has doubled up. So we would definitely want you guys to be a part of this, or at least come have a look, see if you like it. If you think this is it for you, then you can pay for it. And if you use my referral Surana Live, you will be given an extra 10% discount from my end. Yeah. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is this is our new timing from Wednesday, 1st of July. We'll be shifting our times a little bit. Bobby ma'am's verbal class would be from 7 p.m. till 8 p.m. I will be taking class from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Not from tomorrow, not from Tuesday, but from Wednesday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Ashish sir will be taking LRDI from 9 till 10 p.m. and Pratik sir will be ending your day with another quantitative ability session from 10 till 11 p.m. So this is the plan. And if you again would want notifications on that, then get yourself added to the Telegram community and you'll be given notifications every time. Yeah. So if you are all ready, if you're all ready, then let's begin with the session. Hello Vibhor, good evening. Hi Anmol, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I am doing great as well, Anmol. Thanks for the compliment. Hi Akshay, hello Vijay. Hi Seema. Hi Shubham, welcome. So let's get on with this. Let's get on with this. Yes. The four algebraic operations that we'll be performing, because composition to already ho gaya hai, right? Combining of the functions is already done. So now we'll be looking at the other operations, that is starting with addition of functions. So if you were to add two functions, that is f plus g of x. So adding of two functions is nothing but adding their definitions. Yes, adding two functions is nothing but adding their definitions. So f plus g of x is nothing but f of x plus g of x. This is possible only and only if x belongs to, x is a subset of x is a subset of the domain of the function f and the domain of the function g. Got it? So x needs to be a subset of the intersection of this. And matlab kya ho gaya? Intersection. Got it? And matlab kya? Intersection. So x should be a subset of, or x should belong to what? Domain of f, intersection domain of g. Yes. Or in other terms, domain of the total function. If I say f plus g of x is a whole new function, let's say h of x. In that case, h of x का function या h का function क्या हो जाएगा, h का domain क्या हो जाएगा? The domain of h should be what? Intersection of f and g. f और g का जो domain है उसका intersection would be the domain of h. Clear? Yes. All right. Hi Yashi. I'm doing good. Thank you very much. I'm doing well. So here is an example. Here is an example of that. Try this question out. Very simple, because we're starting with the basics. They're asking, they've given the definition of f and h. They're asking what is f plus h of x. What is f plus h of x? So we all know that f plus h of x is nothing but f of x plus h of x. And here, since nothing about h is nothing about x is being spoken, so you don't have to worry about the domains yet. Yeah, so what would you do? Just simply add these functions. Yes, f of x is 2x plus 5 plus h of x is 3x minus 12, which is how much? 5. So 2x plus 3x, 5x, and 5 minus 12 is negative 7. So f of x plus h of x, or f plus h of x, is what? 5x minus 7, option A. Very nice, guys. Superb. So everyone who said A, very good. This is just the start, just the start. Yes. Are you all ready for the second example? All right. So here on the screen is your second example. Try this one out. Again, f of x is given, g of x is given. They want us to find what f plus g of a is. Yeah, what is f of, sorry, f plus g of a? Superb, guys, superb. B is the right answer. B is the right answer. Very good. So what's happening here? Again, f plus g of a is nothing but f of a plus g of a. तो x को a से replace कर दो, what would you get? You would get a square plus 2x plus 4a, a है हाँ सब जगह, 4a plus 9. This is nothing but a square plus 6a plus 9, which by grouping we understand. See, 9 should be what? 9 is positive and its sum, it should be the product of two numbers, right? So 3 times 3 और उसका total 6 होना चाहिए. So this is what? This is a plus 3 into a plus 3, which is nothing but a plus 3 the whole square. So f plus g of a is nothing but a plus b the whole square. So our answer is option B, a plus 3 whole square. Cool. Yes. हाँ Samarth, for starters it is that simple. Yes, it is that simple. I'm not gonna deny it. I'm not going to oversell this to you. It is that simple. But because we are just looking at the operations, these operations, you may not get them as standalone questions, but these operations can be important when you move on to some complex questions. Now look at this question. What does it say? If the domain of function f is negative infinity to infinity and domain of function g is 0 comma infinity except 3, then which of the following does not belong in domain of f plus g? So what do we know here? We know here for a fact that if yes, domain of f plus g is going to be what? It has to be domain of f plus, sorry, domain of f intersection domain of g. है ना? Now what do you mean by intersection? Only the terms that are common to f and g. Yes, terms that are common to the domain of f and common to domain of g could be in the domain of f plus g. Yes. Now what do we know about domain of f? Domain of f is negative infinity to infinity. What is domain of g? That is 0 to infinity but not 3. Yes, that basically means if I find the intersection of this, what is common? From 0 to plus infinity is common, from 0 to plus infinity is common except 3. Yes, so here in this particular set there will be a 3, but because here 3 is not allowed, for the sum also 3 wouldn't be allowed. Got it? Great. So now all I have to check from the answer choices is which one of these wouldn't belong. So what do I have to eliminate? I have to eliminate does not belong is what is asked. Yes, I have to eliminate anything that is less than 0. So anything that is negative can be eliminated, can be our answer. Anything negative can be answered, and anything that is equal to 3 can be my answer. Because what does the question ask? Does not belong. Yes. So of the three answer choices, negative 3.2 minus 6 is positive. Yes. Unless and until this would be equal to 3, this wouldn't be my answer. Yeah. Look at option B. Option B says what? 0.6 minus 2 minus 2.5. Again not negative. Look at C, again not negative. So I know just by the basis of the sign I cannot decide. That means I need to go for the value. All three are positive. They should be either, if they're equal to 3, then that will be my answer. I know for a fact that 8 times 0.8 into minus 0.08 into 0.008 is never going to be 3. And how about option A? Option A, look at this. 3.2 into 6 itself is 19.2. Yes. So this is less than half of it. 19.2 is less than half of it. Is not going to fetch our answer. So this is too big a value. Now all we have to check is if B is equal to 3 or not. Yes. Negative 2 into 2.5 is plus 5. Plus 5 into 0.6 is equal to 3. Yes, so this is equal to 3. That basically means my answer is option B. So you have to keep in mind, the domain, yes, should not be negative and should not be equal to 3. These are the only conditions we have for this particular definition. Yes. All right, so Satyam, D is not our answer. Option B is our answer. Yeah, cool. Any questions here? So for people who haven't been attending our sessions, I hope you understand what domain means. Yes, domain is nothing but the possible input values. Possible input values for the given function. Yes, matlab possible values of x. Domain is nothing but possible values of x. So in this case, if we are being asked what would be f plus g of 3, would there be a solution to this? Should there be a solution to this? F plus g of 3. Yes, anyone? F plus g of 3. Should there be a solution to this? No. Why not? Because it's clearly mentioned that the domain of G does not allow 3. Yes. So if I expand this, I would get f of 3 plus g of 3, and this should not be present. That means the sum cannot be defined. Cool. So we're talking about performing operations on terms that do not belong in the domain at all. That's not possible. Clear? So that's it about addition. Let's move on to subtraction now. Yes, with subtraction, all that you have to keep in mind, is the same thing. F minus g of x is nothing but f of x minus g of x. So the difference of the function is nothing but the difference of their definition. Yeah. And again, x should belong to the intersection of domain of f and domain of g. Yeah. In other words, domain of f minus g should be what? Domain of f intersection domain of g. This x is nothing but possible values of x for all x. Yeah, got it. And here you have to be very careful. That f minus g of x is not the same as g minus f of x. Are you getting this? In the previous term, when we were adding, just like with numbers with functions, also you have to be careful about that f plus g of x would be the same as g plus f of x, but when it comes to subtraction, they are not the same. So let's try out an example. Here it is, very simple one. Try this out. Was the answer to a question: if f of x is 3x minus 17 and h of x is 17 minus 3x, what is f minus h of x? Yeah, Okay, Harika says B, Vibhor says D, Ritikesh says A, Satyam says A. ठीक है, guys, the right answer is option D. Look, we have to subtract the functions, not add them. Yeah. So if I subtract, I need f minus h of x, which is nothing but f of h, f of x minus h of x. F of x is 3x minus 17 minus of, yes, this is very important, guys. This is very important. Don't mess this up. So this would be equal to what? 3x minus 17 minus 17 plus 3x, which is nothing but 6x minus 34. So f minus h of x is what? 6x minus 34, which is option D. Yeah, got it. A would be if this were plus. If at all this were plus, f plus h, then plus 3x minus 17 plus 17 balances out, becomes 0. But this is not plus, this is negative. Yeah, you have to be careful about that. Alright. Now just to prove our point, k f minus h of x and h minus x of f, h minus f of x would not be the same. Let's find out what would be h minus f of x. How much would that be? We would have 17 minus 3x minus of 3x minus 17. So we would have what? 17 plus 17, 34, minus 3x minus 3x minus 6x. Are you getting this? So these aren't equal. These aren't equal. Cool? Yes. Alright. Are you all up for another example? Guys, are you guys up for another example? इसके पहले थोड़ा सा हाइड्रेट कर लीजिए guys. So here we've proven that not for all cases, right? In most cases this is not equal unless and until there is a, so we will see a question on this, don't worry. Cool. Here's another one for y'all. f of x का definition दिया है, f minus g of x का definition दिया है, g of x पूछा गया. They've asked for the value of g of x. तो ये खटाक से निकालिए. Let me know what you think is the answer here. Okay, Rutuja says C, Harika and Vibhor also say C, Ritikesh says A, Akshay says A. Alright. Let's try this one out. We know for a fact that f minus g of x is nothing but f of x minus g of x. And we've been given what f of x is, we've been asked what is g of x. So what would g of x be? G of x should be equal to f of x minus f minus g of x. Yeah, we know f of x to be 3x plus 7 minus of x square plus 3x is what? F minus g of x. So what would we end up getting here? 3x. अच्छा ठीक है, let's expand this. plus 7 minus x square minus 3x. So now I know this would get cancelled out. I'd be left with what? 7 minus x square or minus x square plus 7. Yes, plus 7, which is what? Option C. Yeah, cool. X square minus 7. X square minus 7. Not a very healthy, not a very good trap answer, but however a trap answer. So if you mess up with the arrangement here, if you do f minus g of x minus f of x, yes, you would end up getting what? You would end up getting negative g of x, or in other words, your answer would be this. Yes, so this would be a mistake. This is nothing but negative g of x. Yeah. And d is just ignorance. If you have considered, if you just added these two, thinking ke f of x cancel ho jayega, that would happen if this were g minus f of x. If g minus f of x were given, all I had to do was what? Add these two definitions and I'd get the value of g of x, है ना? ठीक है? चलिए, a very nice question. So g of x has been successfully found. Shall we try out another example? आगे बढ़े? Chalo, this one is for you to ponder and then try this out. So we had earlier seen for a few definitions that f minus g of x is not equal to g minus f of x, but in this question they're asking f minus g of x should be equal to g minus f of x. So under which of these conditions would it be true is the question. Try this one out real quick. Okay, Rutuja says B. Vibhor also says B. Anyone else here? Vijay, Yatendra, very nice. So all of them are putting their money on B. So they're asking it has to be equal. It has to be equal, right? Now you have two choices. You either substitute for each of these cases. For each of these cases, you do this. F minus g of x should be equal to g minus f of x. That means you expand all of this. You should try out what f of x minus g of x is, and then you should find out what g of x minus f of x is, and then see if they are equal. Or you can dwell on this particular expression for a longer period of time and find out what? That f of x plus f of x, that is 2 times f of x, should be equal to 2 times g of x. Or in other terms, the only place where this is possible is if f of x and g of x are equal. Am I right? So if the definition of f of x and the definition of g of x are similar, then that will be my answer. So quickly check if 2x squared plus 3 would be the same as 3 minus 2x squared. So if you don't want to take any risk here, ये equal नहीं है पता है मेरे को, but if you don't want to take any risk here, equate करके देख लो. So 2x square plus 3 should be equal to 3 minus 2x square. Or in other terms, what should you get? You should get 4x square should be equal to 0. Yes, and this is only possible if x is equal to 0. But since there's no condition given to us about x, yes, f का g का domain कुछ भी नहीं दिया हुआ है, तो we can't assume that, and this is only possible under this one condition. अगर x 0 है तो यहाँ पे नहीं है, that means it's not possible. Yeah. However, option B क्या है? 2a plus b by 2, तो इसको expand करेंगे तो क्या हो जाएगा? 2a So we have 2a plus b by 2. This is f of x. On the other hand, we have a plus b by 2. Just you don't even have to equate, just expand this numerator. You would get 2a by 2, that is a, plus b by 2, that's b by 2. So these are one and the same expression. So these are equal. That means b has to be my answer. Yeah. Again in the case of C, what? That 3x should be equal to negative 3x. 3x should be equal to negative 3x. When is it possible? It is possible again when 6x is equal to 0 or x must be equal to 0, which it isn't. Again, not given anywhere in the given condition. So C is also out. Our answer is option B, where f of x and g of x are similar or equal. Yeah, cool guys. यहाँ पे आपको कोई क्वेश्चन है तो पूछिएगा, नहीं तो फिर आगे चलते मल्टीप्लिकेशन की ओर. तो पीपल हु हैड सेड अर्लियर, जिन्होंने बोला था सीमा सी बोला था, बाद में बदल दिया, वेरी नाइस. ठीक है, अदर्स हैड ऑल सेड बी. ब्यूटीफुल. चलो तो I'm assuming आपको कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है इसमें, तो आगे चले जाए. वेरी नाइस ऋतुजा, संतोष, सुपर गाइस. तो अगर अब तक आपको एडिशन और सब्ट्रैक्शन अगर समझ में आ गया, आपको कोई ऊपर नीचे नहीं लग रहा है, तो इमीडिएटली लाइक कर दीजिए वीडियो को, और फिर हम आगे बढ़ते हैं टू मल्टीप्लिकेशन, है ना. लेट्स मूव ऑन टू मल्टीप्लिकेशन देन. या, आर यू ऑल गुड? आर यू ऑल रेडी? Alright, so hit like and let me know that if you're done, and let's move on to multiplication of functions. What's multiplication of functions? That's nothing but point to point multiplication of each term of the function. Yes, so multiplication of the function is nothing but point to point multiplication of the definition of function. That means you multiply each element or each term with every other term of the other function. Yeah. Again, here what you have to keep in mind, that x needs to be common to both f and g. Only then this is defined, otherwise this will not be defined. Yes, there would not be any solution to this. That means f times g of x, for this to be definite, for this to occur, for this to exist, we need to make sure that x belongs to both f and g. Right, domain of f and domain of g. Cool. Or in other terms, the domain of f times g is nothing but the domain of intersection of domains of f and g, है ना? So here's an example. Try this out real quick. Try this out real quick. Send me the answer. Again, definitions of both the functions f and g are given. They're asking us what is f times h. There should be none of these or cannot be determined. I seriously wish if we had an e that says cannot be determined. Alright. Harika, Vibhor, Yatendra, Rishant, everybody says C. Everybody says C. Okay. So we know here that f times g of x is going to be what? F times x times g times x. So it's basically just point to point multiplication of every term. So f of x is x minus 17, g of x is x plus 17. We know for a fact that a minus b into a plus b is equal to what? A square minus b square. Yes. So this would be what? A is x here, x square minus 17 square. X square, 17 square is 289. So f times g of x is x square minus 289, option C. Yeah. हाँ, तो वही बदल दिया मैंने, बदल दिया। या क्लियर है ना? कोई कंफ्यूजन है यहाँ पे? ट्राई दिस वन आउट। नहीं, विभोर, शुभम बोल रहे हैं क्वेश्चन को, फंक्शन फंक्शन का नाम बदलो, नॉट द आस्क्ड टर्म। जी ऑफ एक्स इक्वल टू के बदले वहां पे एच ऑफ एक्स कर दो। दिस इज द इंडियन सोल्यूशन टू ऑल प्रॉब्लम्स। प्रॉब्लम को ही बदल दो, सोल्यूशन नहीं आ रहा तो प्रॉब्लम को बदल दो। Okay, Rutuja says A. Neetu had said C. Neetu, was it for the previous question or is it for the new, this one? यहाँ पे कोई गलती नहीं है, यहाँ पे कोई गलती नहीं है। F of x, g of x, they want us to find h of 2 because they have defined what h of x is. ये रहा, h of x defined है. Okay, so this one technically if the value of x were not given to us, if the value of x were not given to us, how we were supposed to answer this is this way: h of x being equal to f of x times g of x, which is nothing but 3x plus 7 times x plus 3, which would give us 3x square. So point to point, आपको तो ये पता ही होगा, right? You multiply every element with every element. So 3x plus x, 3x square plus 9x plus 7 times x plus 21, which is nothing but 3x square plus 16x plus 21. So this way you would get h of x and then substitute 2 in this place. So you would get what? 3 times 4 is 12, 16 times 2 is 32 plus 21, which is 65. Technically, this is how you're supposed to answer, but since everywhere the variable is x only, everywhere the variable is x only, all that you have to do is what? Replace x with 2 everywhere. So I can write h of 2 to be equal to f times g of 2. That's nothing but f of 2 times g of 2, है ना? So for this, what would you do? Find out what f of 2 is. F of x is 3x plus 7, so f of 2 would be how much? 3 times 2, 6, 6 plus 7, 13 times g of 2, replace 2 here, 2 plus 3 is 5, so 13 fives is how much? 65. So technically h of 2 is 65. You do not really have to find out the algebraic product of their definitions because here also the variable is x only. है ना? Got it? Super. So again a pretty question. Nice answer, 65. So earlier people had given some other answers, A and all that. I hope you guys have understood this. Yeah. Now this is the last part of our session today. Division of functions. So the division of function, there's only one extra condition here because division, otherwise f by g of x, the division of the functions is nothing but division of their definitions. F by g of x is equal to f of x by g of x. Yes, again here what's the scene? G of x cannot be equal to 0. Why? If in a fraction, if the denominator is equal to 0, then that particular fraction is not defined. Yes, it's undefined. That means it does not exist anywhere on the number line. So it cannot be equal to 0. That's something that you'll have to keep an eye on. Yeah. And the other thing that you have to keep reminding yourselves is f f by g of x, f by g of x is not the same as g by f of x. Yes, they aren't equal always. They aren't equal always. But when will they be equal? When will they be equal? They will be equal only under one condition, when f of x by g of x is the same as g of x by f of x. Are you getting this? So either all of their images must always be 1, then it would be equal. It cannot be equal to 0. So in this particular condition, even f of x cannot be equal to 0. Yes, 0. And either that or the product of, right? The product of both these functions must be equal. So either the functions must be equal or square of the functions must be equal. That's product of itself. Yes. Only under these conditions they'd be equal, otherwise not. Yeah. Here's an example. F of x is defined, g of x is defined. What is f by g of x is what is asked. F by g of x. Alright, everyone has said B. Satyam had already told that. So everyone is saying the answer is B. Very good. So what's happening here? What's happening here? You would technically have to do long division here. Yes, if you were to divide two algebraic expressions, you will have to do long division. But we can dodge that bullet because we don't want to do long division. We can dodge that bullet by doing what? So f by g of x is f of x over g of x. That in this case is what? 3x cubed plus 2x squared plus 4x over 2x. So technically how I'm supposed to answer this question is this way. This is what I am supposed to do. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Why? Because I can cancel out the denominator. I can balance out the denominator by finding out the same term in the numerator to divide it with. Yeah. So if I take 2x common from 3x cube, what will be left? So if I take 2x common and x is gone, so x square would be left. Out of 3, if I were to remove 2, I'd be left with 3 by 2. 2x square में से 2x गया तो x, 4x में से 2x गया तो 2 over 2x. Yeah. So here for this particular thing, there's no condition for x. Yes, f by g of x would exist for every value of x. Got it? Any questions here, guys? Anyone? This is true for any condition of x. Yes, x का कोई condition नहीं है. No strings attached. Got it? Yeah. So our answer is option B. This is our last example. Try this out. Ankita Singh, sir, you made me crack maths in NSTY and so I won 1 lakh rupees. ये क्या बोल रहे हो आप? How true is that? Ankita, how true is that? Wait, how true are you? National Scholarship Test for Youth. Chalo, I'm out of that then. मनीष यू वांट कोचिंग मटेरियल? मनीष आज आज दोपहर में मैंने एक सेशन लिया था, जस्ट दिस आफ्टरनून अराउंड 2 p.m. मैंने एक सेशन लिया था ऑन what books or what kind of material to refer for quantitative aptitude, quantitative ability for CAT. So if you can after this, okay, after we are done with this, वो जाके देखिए एक बार, have a look at that. We have not, I've not just simply mentioned the names of the books, उसका पूरा review भी किया है, right? So I can call myself a book critique right now. Sad part of that is these are aptitude books, तो मैंने उनका critique किया है. Those are the only books I have read all my life. So yeah. Anyway, you can probably go check that out. उसमें material के बारे में भी बात किया गया, what kind of material you should refer to, what kind of material is reliable, all of that. ठीक है? Satyam says A, Rutuja says A. Anyone else? Harika also says A. Super. So f of x by g of x is what is asked. By g of x. This would be equal to what? 2x squared plus 15x minus 8 over x squared plus 10x plus 16. है ना? Right. So now you have two choices. Go towards long division. Now the problem with long division is what? The problem with long division is you'd not be able to do it because the degree or the order of our numerator is the same as the order of our denominator. Yes, that means iska jo quotient hai will not be an entire term, right? It will be in fractions. This definitely will be in fractions. Are you getting this? This will definitely be in fractions. P by Q form में ही रहेगा ये. Yeah. Why? Because the orders are equal and यहाँ पे देखिए, if you look at these are not even two parallel equations. Yes. तो ये इसका there would not be any direct solution और whole solution नहीं होगा, fractional form में ही होगा. तो यहाँ पे हम क्या करेंगे? We'll try to again dodge a bullet. Look at these answer choices also definitely tells us that they would be in the fractional form, है ना? तो let's first try and understand कि हम क्या common निकालेंगे, right? We'll need to take something out common to cancel this out. Yes. तो पहले denominator को set करते हैं. Let's sort out the denominator first. Yeah. So you have to, तो यहाँ पे देखेंगे these terms are compressed form of this. तो इसको expand करते हैं. Let's try to compress this. Yes. So 16, the product of two numbers must be 16 जिनका sum 10 हो. तो क्या हो जाएगा वो? 8 and 2, है ना? तो can I write the denominator as x plus 8 times x plus 2? Yeah. Now what do I have to ensure? I have to ensure that I either write my numerator in terms of x plus 8 or write the numerator in terms of x plus 2. Yeah. Any one of these I'll have to do. Yeah. So let's see what we can write this as. Yeah. Minus 8 is given to us. The product of two numbers must be minus 8, but then minus 16, क्योंकि यहाँ पे coefficient of x square is not 1. Product should be minus 16, sum should be 15. Yes. So under what conditions would that be possible? Under what conditions would that be possible? या हाँ तो सो आई कैन राइट दिस एज व्हाट, यहाँ पे अगर +8 है, इफ दिस इज +8, देन व्हाट शुड बी द अदर थिंग? एनीवन? यस, so I can split 15x as this. There will surely be something negative here, है ना? There will surely be something negative here. Yes, I can split this as what? 2x minus 1 times x plus 8. Yeah, now try and multiply and check if this is what you would get. 2x times x is 2x square. 16x minus x, yes, that is what? 15x. Yes, and 1 times 8 is how much? 8. Cool. Any confusions here? Anyone? Yeah. So now what do we get? We can cancel out the common terms. X plus 8, x plus 8 is gone. But यहाँ पे you have to keep in mind, कि x should not be equal to -8, है ना? What's the condition? X should not be equal to -8. क्योंकि अगर x equal to -8 हो गया तो अपना पूरा this will drop. Yes, and what else to keep in mind? तो यहाँ पे आंसर क्या हो गया? f by g of x is nothing but 2x minus 1 by x plus 2. मतलब x cannot be -2 either. So here this is my answer, which is nothing but option A. तो इसको मैं कैसे लिखूंगा? 2x minus 1 times x plus 2 का reciprocal, which is option A. Cool. Yes. Any confusions here, guys? None. ठीक है. So these were the questions that I had for you. Yes, we will definitely try out some more tomorrow. Yeah, कल और questions लेके आएंगे और concepts भी लेके आएंगे. But we'll try to finish functions as soon as possible and then move on with our rest of the concepts. ओलंपियाड्स की बात चल रही है यहाँ पे हमारा कैट नहीं निकल रहा है. ओलंपियाड्स की बात चल रही है. ओके, so this is a quick recap on the timing, a quick update on the timing. जुलाई 1 से टाइमिंग्स बदलेंगी. 7 से 8 वर्बल एबिलिटी बॉबी मैम, 8 to 9 मैं आऊंगा क्वांटिटेटिव एप्टीट्यूड, 9 to 10 आशीष सर आएंगे LRDI के लिए, और 10 to 11 प्रतीक सर आएंगे वापस क्वांटिटेटिव एबिलिटी के लिए. या so our timings would now move from 7 PM till 11 PM. तो ये 4 घंटे अपने बुक करके रख दो, कुछ और मत प्लान करो उसमें. Yes, if you're planning on Netflix and chilling तो आफ्टरनून्स में करो. लॉकडाउन है, किसको क्या पड़ी है ना? आप क्या ही चिलिंग कर लोगे? कैट के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो, क्या ही चिलिंग कर लोगे, क्या ही नेटफ्लिक्स कर लोगे. एंड इफ यू वांट अपडेट्स ऑन द टाइमिंग्स न्यू एंड ओल्ड बोथ, तो add yourself to this group on Telegram. ये लिंक आपको भेजा जाएगा. इफ यू आर स्टिल नॉट एबल टू add yourself to this. हाँ, क्या ही बोलूं यार guys. Yes, I think by now you should have figured out, by now after attending a lot of sessions on YouTube, you should have figured out कि ये आपको जम रहा है नहीं जम रहा है, right? Or would you want some more attention on some topics, or would you want some personal attention on how you're performing and all that? In that case, you will definitely have to go for plus. And if you are someone who comes up with a lot of doubts, a lot of confusions, yeah, if you're someone who overthinks a particular question के सर अगर ऐसा होता तो कैसा होता, ऐसा करते तो क्या होता, इसमें अगर ये चेंज होता तो कैसा होता, सर मैं ये वाला मेथड ट्राई क्या नहीं लगा, if you are one of those guys, then you should definitely take advantage of plus. लाइव क्लासेस और इंटरेक्शन के अलावा यहाँ पे लाइव पोल्स, लीडर बोर्ड्स है और टेस्ट सीरीज है जो कि बहुत जरूरी है, राइट? you should have given at least 30 mock tests before your date of CAT. Yes. And not just the mock test तो आप कहीं पर भी दे सकते हो, कितने में भी दे सकते हो, but then the analysis is what matters. Yes. And like I was talking about, if you're someone who has a lot of doubts, if you want to get a lot of clarifications, or if you like, talking to someone while solving something, if that gives you some kind of a boost, then definite every fourth class would be a live doubt clearing class at Plus. So you can probably make use of this. Download the Unacademy's learning app, go for Plus, go for subscription. Subscription prices are also quite nominal. Yes, very light on the pocket. And if you use my code Surana Live, you'll be given an extra 10% discount. This literally means ये 10% मेरी तरफ से आपको है, या मतलब गुरु गुरु दक्षिणा दे रहा है आपको. Yes. So you can probably make use of this. If you still have any questions, इसके बारे में आपको कोई questions या doubt है, तो you can feel free and contact me. My Instagram handle is Surana Live. My Telegram handle is Surana Live. मैं soon अपने आधार कार्ड में भी नाम बदलाने वाला हूँ, सुराना लाइव रखने वाला हूँ. So this is that, and if you still want to talk to me, have some doubts, questions, jo bhi karna hai, you can definitely get it answered. And I hope you have subscribed to the channel, or you have liked also on the video before leaving, because obviously guys, you need to show some gratitude towards the learning that you get. And please don't forget to share this with your friends either. Yeah. Thank you नीतू, मुझे भी अच्छा लगा कि आप पढ़े. अनुज डेफिनेटली बड़ी, डेफिनेटली मैं अभी अभी देखता हूँ तुरंत. ठीक है, चलो बाय गाइस, गुड नाइट. तुरंत तुरंत बॉबी मैम के क्लास में जंप मारिए और मैं यहाँ से